Veranda IAS, where your dream becomes reality.
Hello everyone, welcome to the daily current affair analysis from Veranda IAS. Today, we are going to see some of the important current affair topic from the day of 17th of May 2023. And let us first discuss about the topics of the day. Moving on to the first topic is Rajasthan's most spellsome hope for gig workers, which is an editorial topic, and we'll be doing an editorial analysis which can be mapped to GS2 governance as such. Then, second topic will be India's most closer to getting its first indigenous vaccine against dengue, which can be mapped to GS3 science and technologies as such. Then, why spurious liquor kills, which also can be mapped to GS3 science and technology. Moving on to the first topic, Rajasthan's most spellsome hope for gig workers. Let us see what is the context. So we can see that they have proposed a draft bill called as Rajasthan Platform-Based Gig Workers Registration and Welfare Bill of 2023. It has stringent provisions against errant aggregators. What is aggregators? Aggregators are those kind of people or platforms which or aggregates different services of different peoples and give us a new products to the customers, just like that of any food delivery apps, any kind of apps like that of OLX, Uber or Zomato, or these kind of things we can call as a aggregator. So we can say that any unjust aggregators or any kind of an aggregators who are doing any kind of an injustice, including barring these gig workers from operating in the state, this new bill will be having strict provisions for that. Now let us see some of the highlights of the bill. First of all, it will be also setting up something called as Rajasthan Platform-Based Gig Workers Welfare Board. So now let us see what are the duties of this board. So this board will design welfare policies and also hear grievances from the gig workers. It has the power to decide the quantum of cess that every aggregator will have to pay towards their social welfare corpus. That means they cannot just employ freelancers or gig workers for any amount that they want, but they should also contribute a kind of an amount for their social welfare corpus also. Not only that, they will be providing a unique ID which will be automatically registered with the board and will be generated, which will be valid for 3 years. And any kind of errant aggregators will be having fines and suspensions will be given by this Rajasthan Platform-Based Gig Workers Welfare Board also. Then now let us see who are these gig workers. Any non-standard or gig worker consists of income earning activities outside of standard long-term employer-employee relationship, rather than going in a full-time employment. Any other kind of an employment, just like a freelancers or interns or anything, we can come. It will come under gig workers. A gig economy relies heavily on temporary and part-time positions filled by independent contractors and freelancers. So what is this term called as gigs? Gig is actually a term which is coming from the musical world. That means performance. In the music world, this performers book single or short-term engagements, which are called as gigs. So that is how this name called as gig workers came in. Here they use as digital platforms to connect freelancers with customers, and you can see or you can have or imagine these examples like that of ride-hailing apps, food delivery apps, holiday rental apps, etc. in your mind, so that you will be getting a clear idea about what is this platform-based gig workers app. Now, what are the reasons for a rise in gig workers? That is, after the pandemic, many people have lost their jobs. So those who have lost their jobs, they find it out a new way of income like that of a part-time and taking contract work or freelance work. And also from the pandemic time itself, we can see that the necessities are being delivered to home, and all these kind of home-based applications also started to use. Then they have the freedom to work from anywhere. There is a wide range of applications that they can actually go for. Then the rise of technology and internet have made the things easier. Even in a remote village areas, we can see the presence of the gig economy. Then convenient for smaller organization, the organization which do not have much more income, what they will do, they will employ the interns or freelancers as such, so that they'll be getting the work done in a less amount of period. Then more income with more work. Many people will be thinking that one point of income is not enough for me, I will be needing more sources of income. So this kind of freelance work will earn them another sources of incomes also. What are the benefits for the employers? Also will be benefiting all, and also it creates work for all assets. That means even though people, if anyone is less skilled or if anyone is not having proper skills, they can also take up this kind of a jobs and they will be able to get some earnings as such. What are the challenges with respect to the gig economy? Hurdle in the growth of full-time employee. Whenever this kind of freelancers or contractors are coming in, those who have been hired by the company, there will not be any particular growth for them. Then work-life balance. In any kind of full-time economy, there will not be proper work-life balance also. They can replace any full-time employees and there will be no job security and there will be no regular job benefits. These are the challenges faced by the gig economy or the gig workers. Now let us see about the statistics associated with Indian gig economy, which is very, very important with respect to when we are writing some answers in mains as well. So in 2020, 7.7 million workers were engaged in the gig economy, and it is expected to reach up to 23.5 million workers by 2029 to 2030. At present, 47% of the gig workers is medium skilled jobs, about 22% in high skilled, and about 31% in low skilled. So it is new, as per the new trends, it is being shown that the high skill and low skill employment will increase, rather the medium skill jobs will decrease. That is what the study shows. Now, let us take some of the steps taken by the Government of India. First of all, Code of Social Security of 2022. The Code of Social Security of 2020. So, framing of suitable social security schemes for gig workers and platform workers, that includes the life and disability cover, then accident insurance, health and maternity benefits, old age protection. These are not yet in force, even though it is being mentioned in the Code of Social Security 2020. Then, as we have covered in our previous days daily current affairs, there is something called as e-Shram portal. So a comprehensive national database of unorganized workers, including gig workers and platform workers, are called as the e-Shram portal, where they have to register on self-declaration, which is spread over diversified 400 occupations. So those who are doing above more than 400 occupations of a different occupation, they can register themselves after self-declaration in the e-Shram portal. Then, moving on to the next topic, India moves closer to getting its first indigenous vaccine against dengue. So the drug makers like that of Serum Institute of India and also the Panacea Biotech, they responded to a call for phase 3 clinical trials by ICMR. And the trials being done to evaluate efficacy, safety, and also immunogenicity of the vaccine. Whereas in 2019, the World Health Organization identified dengue to be among the top 10 global health threats also. So this clarifies what is the intensity or what is the cruciality associated with the disease of dengue and what are the vaccines that we have to give associated with it. Now let us understand what is a DNA vaccine. So it is a type of vaccine that uses a small piece of DNA that codes for a specific antigen or a molecule that triggers an immune response from a pathogen such as virus or bacterium to simulate an immune response. This DNA is injected directly into the body cell where it instructs the cells to produce the antigen. The immune system then recognizes the antigen as a foreign and will mount an immune response against it, which helps to develop immunity to the pathogen also. So the DNA vaccines are third generation vaccines, and also these are very important points with respect to the prelims. The Zycovid is the world's first and India's indigenously developed DNA based vaccine for COVID-19. And now let us understand about dengue. Dengue is a mosquito-borne tropical disease caused by the dengue virus called as genus Flavirus, transmitted by a special type of mosquito within the genus Aedes, principally Aedes aegypti. So what you have to know, you have to make sure that dengue is a mosquito-borne tropical disease, which is a viral disease and is transmitted by Aedes mosquitoes. Then, what are the challenges in vaccine development? Developing an effective vaccine against dengue is tricky. Why? Because it have to be therefore 4 closely related virus serotypes, which are there: Den 1, Den 2, 3 and 4. There are 4 different stereotypes: DN1, DN2, DN3, DN4. So any kind of an ideal vaccine must target all these kind of stereotypes. That is, each one vaccine created each one type of stereotype differently affect the antibodies in the human blood, and a person infected with the DN1 is then protected against it for the entire life, but not against the other stereotypes. That is, a person who got DN1 will not get DN1 again, but there are chances for him to get DN2, DN3, DN4, other stereotypes. So the main challenge is that we should create an ideal vaccine that is enough for all the stereotypes. Moving on to the next topic. Why spurious liquor kills? So now let us understand what is the news or the context about. As many as 22 people have died after consuming spurious liquor in the Chengalpattu and Villupuram districts of Tamil Nadu, while others were still being treated in hospitals. The incident occurred a month after the state government said that it had brought such deaths under the control. Now let us understand how the alcohol is being created. It is being created by using two processes called as fermentation and distillation. Now let us understand what is fermentation. It is a chemical reaction where yeast or bacteria react with sugars, that is sugar obtained from grains, fruit, sugarcane, etc. to produce what? Ethanol. So this ethanol is responsible for the alcohol content in the drink. Another process is the distillation. What is distillation? It is a process of physically separating the alcohol from the rest of the mixture using evaporation and condensation. So this ethanol called as C2H5OH, it is metabolized in the liver and the stomach by alcohol dehydrogenase or ADH enzymes to an acetaldehyde. And this aldehyde dehydrogenase enzymes transform the acetaldehyde into something called as acetate. So the adverse effect of alcohol like that of hangover or the cancer, these are due to the presence of this acetaldehyde in the stomach. So it is also given by WHO that no level of alcohol consumption is safe for health. Some people will say that I will only have a little amount of alcohol. So the World Health Organization has very well confirmed that no level of alcohol consumption is safe for health. Then now let us understand what is this hoosh or spurious liquor. So this hoosh is made in more crude settings, that is in a kind of a homemade liquor without any kind of a quality checker. If you see kind of a standard liquors, it is coming after a series or methodologies of quality checks. But in homemade liquor or any hoosh or spurious liquor, there is no quality checks. That is, the fermented mixture which is to be distilled might contain more amount of consumable alcohol or ethanol or methanol. So ethanol can be consumed. This methanol is highly toxic, or if it is there of more than a certain amount, it will be acting as a poison. So the end product can have a high concentration of methanol, which is poisonous and also cause cerebral edema, that is swelling of the brain, hemorrhage, and also death at sometimes. Now let us understand about the regulation of methanol in India. So as per the Schedule 1 of the Manufacture, Storage and Import of Hazardous Chemical Rules 1989, it also includes about the use of methanol. The Food Safety and Standards Alcoholic Beverages Regulations of 2018, it also stipulates the maximum permissible quantity of methanol in different liquors as such. Not only that, this IAS standard or the Indian standard called as IAS 517, it applies to how the quality of methanol is to be ascertained. Now let us understand about the treatment of methanol poisoning. To administer ethanol, that is, we can give one person who are affected with methanol by giving ethanol. How? Ethanol competes with methanol for the ADH enzymes, and as a result, the methanol is kept from being metallized to form formaldehyde, which is the one which is resulting for all the poisonous activities. Now, we can also administer an antidote called as formimazole. That is, it slows the action of the ADH enzymes, causing the body to produce formaldehyde at a rate that the body can quickly excrete, preventing the deadlier effects from kicking in also. Now let us move on to the question of the day. Which of the following statements regarding the dengue fever is correct? Option A. Dengue fever is caused by a virus transmitted through the bite of infected Aedes mosquitoes. Statement B. Dengue fever is caused by a bacteria found in contaminated water sources. Then dengue fever is a non-communicable disease and spread through close contact with an infected individual. Dengue fever primarily affects the respiratory system. So we have already studied that dengue fever is caused by a virus and is transmitted through Aedes mosquitoes. So the B, C and D is incorrect. Only the correct statement here is statement A. That is, dengue fever is caused by a virus transmitted through the bite of infected Aedes mosquitoes. Okay, so that was all for today's current affair topic. That is, we have taken some important current affair topic with which we can easily map and study some static points and also some kind of an analysis for mains. I hope this was enough, or this was okay for all of you, and all the topics were easy and you have understood everyone. Okay, so unless and until we meet next time, this is Prince J signing off. Thank you.